Spotlight on Q95 FM radio every Monday night from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight, featuring people from all walks of Dominican life, spotlighting their triumphs and tragedies, dreams, hopes, and aspirations, untold stories, touching the human and personal side of all people in politics, religion, sports, business, music, culture, the media, and more. Getting to know our farmers, public servants, youth, the ordinary Dominican. Listen to their stories. No limitations, no restrictions, no holds barred. In the Spotlight, we'll also spotlight interesting topics, issues, and relevant situations. Don't miss In the Spotlight on Q95 FM radio every Monday night from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight on Q95 FM radio every Monday night from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight, featuring people from all walks of Dominican life, spotlighting their triumphs and tragedies, dreams, hopes, aspirations, untold stories, touching the human and personal side of our people in politics, religion, sports, business, music, culture, the media, and more. Getting to know our farmers, our public servants, youth, and the ordinary Dominican. Listen to their stories. No limitations, no restrictions, no holds barred. In the Spotlight, we'll also spotlight interesting topics, issues, and relevant situations. Don't miss In the Spotlight on Q95 FM radio every Monday nights from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight.
(8:14) is the time in the studios of Q95 FM radio. Good evening and welcome to the In the Spotlight radio show. Last week, Monday, we were scheduled to be here, but many of you would recall that we had some inclement weather, and therefore for my safety and Carlton's safety, we decided that no, we will move this to next Monday, which is today. Mais Carlton la même, était la même toujours en roseau, ça pas été pour aller. I appreciated that, but we had to be safe. It was really pouring, and it would have been, I was concerned that Carlton would have to go back up to Grand Bay, and you never know what he would have met along the way, along the journey back to his home. And so we are here tonight for the In the Spotlight radio show. We thank you very much for tuning into the program. We thank you for choosing us tonight. Whatever medium you are tuned in via, whether it be on the frequencies of Q95 FM radio, or via Q95's Facebook page. They're carrying the show via their Facebook page as well. And we're also on the In the Spotlight radio and TV shows page. If you've not yet followed us, or if you've not yet liked our page, now is a good time to do that. So go across and just type in the Spotlight radio and TV shows. You write it not as one word, you type them separately, you search, and you should find In the Spotlight radio show page. So we are happy to have you tuned in tonight. Whatever medium that you are utilizing, we welcome you. Don't forget to comment, like, and share as well, so someone else can benefit from this program that we are scheduled to have tonight. My guest is Carlton Henry, and Carlton is a young man that, I've always admired, because Carlton has so much passion. He's so passionate about everything that he does. He's involved, he's committed, he's dedicated, and I know that he is now at the cultural division and I know that they're probably getting the best of Carlton. Although I'm still sure that there's still a lot more to come from Carlton Henry. Carlton will tell us all about himself tonight on the In the Spotlight radio show. We should say thank you to Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, always providing us with Trois Pitons, pure Dominica water to drink or to quench our thirst. You know, the lips sometimes get a little dry when you're talking a lot. And it's 2 hours that we're here for. Well, at least another hour and 40 minutes that we're here for on the program. And we definitely need the Trois Pitons water. So thank you so much, Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited. Now, I don't know if Carlton had the time to grab a bite this evening. If he didn't, Great Old House will be providing us with some dinner tonight. So we say thank you to the folks at the Great Old House. And when you're visiting for the Independence season, be sure to drop on by for dinner. And their food is delicious, it's colorful, and it's really the type of food that you need when you come here. And if you are here in Dominica and you're looking for somewhere to take someone for a delicious dinner, satisfying, appetizing, then you go to the Great Old House. So thank you everyone for joining us this evening for tonight's program. It is the Independence season, hence the reason for our guest in studios, but we're going to get to know a lot more about him outside of the Independence season as well. So let's get the ball rolling and say good evening to Carlton Henry. Carlton, bonsoir.
Bonsoir, Frederic. Good night.
Carlton, nous savons, nous allons aller foutre patois là à terre au sol là. Mon pas tellement bon, mais moi ça protégé comme moi. Oui, right. So bonsoir.
Bonsoir, bonsoir. Actually, to clear the air, I did get caught last week Monday on my way back at Mitchell.
You stayed in Rose, because you all were performing
at
the State House for the swearing-in inauguration of the president. Congratulations to her.
Yeah.
And I know you were there. You were still in Roseau, and you did message me and say what's going on.
Yeah.
No, we had spoken before, but you know, I figured. So, Carlton, what happened?
Because after the event was actually, it was not over. I left before, so I could go back to the office to grab some stuff.
So you had to go back to Kenfield.
Yeah, back to Kenfield. On my way, I saw some fallen rocks and all that. I didn't let that bother me or deter me. On my way home now,
where you saw the fallen rocks? Under the cliff.
Under the cliff. Well, I'm a scout, so
yes, I mean,
be prepared for anything.
Of course.
I'm on my way up to Grande, but when we get at Mitchell, the river, not actually dry ravine, it took over the road, so we had to wait for quite a little while it try to, how do I say, simmer down. But when I see I could handle because my vehicle is tall enough, I just drove through.
Yes,
and then
you took a chance.
Had the back fall through because everybody was like scared, worrying what they want to do. I check in if I'm going to die, not there.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
But you made it through?
Yeah, I did.
And you made it there safely. So, Carlton, let's say good evening to the listeners, the viewers of the program.
Well, good evening to everyone who told me that they will be listening, and everyone who did not know I would have been a guest but happened to be on there tonight. I hope my story will inspire people or probably enlighten so people will get to understand better who I am.
Anyone in particular who is tuned in?
I know a few staff members say they'll be tuning in. A few of my tribal members say they'll be tuning in. Some persons from the ministry, my ministry said they will be listening. So I think I have quite a lot of friends and families and well-wishers who will be listening tonight.
Interestingly, last week when you couldn't make it, well, when we moved the program, it's just not that you couldn't make it. I actually replayed that of your manager,
okay.
The Chief Cultural Officer, Ulson Matthews. So that program was actually aired last week. So we're keeping it in the realm of culture.
Nice.
What does this time of year mean to you, Carlton?
I must say Independence is one of my favorite time of years. At one point it used to be Christmas, but I think the whole excitement of unwrapping gifts and cleaning up the house, but to me it has become so commercialized that it's not as exciting as before. But I really, really, really love my culture. So Independence is definitely my favorite time of year. And although it's the busiest time for me, but it's the time I really feel more important. That's the time I feel I have more worth. I like dressing up. I just love the entire Independence season. That's my favorite time of year.
It's interesting to hear you say the way you describe it. That's the time you feel more important.
Yeah.
That is the time you feel like you have more worth. And that is
although it's the most tiring part.
because of your job.
Yeah.
Because of your job. What is it about independence that resonates with you?
To honestly tell you the truth, I don't know. I'm just passionate about.
Is it the dress?
I think the food, the excitement. The food is one. The excitement of getting dressed up in the national wear, the work wear, the colorful clothes, and I think at that time of year people try their very best to speak Creole. So I don't know, something about it. I really don't know how to explain. I just really love that time of year.
And it's our season, and Carlton said for him, it's about the food. Carlton is the crab backs for me. I get black pudding all year round. That is, one of my favorite things. By the way, my apologies for the voice. It happens. Crab backs. I already placed my order with my favorite lady. Crab backs is it for me around the Independence season. One year, callaloo messed up our entire family, and since then I don't do callaloo that much, crab callaloo. But I definitely enjoy a good crab back around this time of year. Carlton, let us get to the nitty gritty of things. We will get back into the culture as we go through the program. But first of all, thank you for accepting my invitation to be on the program tonight. You are somebody that I know very well. We've encountered in so many situations, whether it be Miss Dominica pageant, whether it be cultural division, work duet, whatever the case might be. And you're always such a joy, Carlton, and I admire your passion, as I mentioned earlier on, in everything that you do. And somebody reached out to me and, actually said that to me. They said, the thing about Carlton is that Carlton is very, very passionate about what he does. And we'll hear more about this passion. But before that, Carlton, we spoke a while ago about you heading home and getting stuck in the Mitcham area. So I think most of us know, but I always keep in mind, Carlton, that there's new people listening to the program or viewing the program. And sometimes the things that we think people already know, they don't necessarily know. So tell us about Carlton and where he's from.
Okay, I am Carlton Henry from the community of Grand Bay. Actually, many people don't know I'm from that hamlet, Grand Colibri. That's where my mother is from. My earliest years we lived there. I think I came down to the main area in Grand Bay in about between the age of one and a half to 3. So I'm actually Chris Lynn, Lanier and I are from the actual same village, that little hamlet on overlooking Grand Bay.
And Chris Lynn is a former contestant, right?
Yes,
he's a contestant.
Actually, my cousin.
Grand Colibri. So you hear Grand Colibri, and you may not, although it has Grand in it, you may not necessarily think Grand Bay. Grand Colibri is located where exactly? It's
how would I say? If many people know Tetmon, on your way up to Tetmon Mountain, when you leave Tet Valley where the big cross is, you continue going. If you're looking from the bayside left, continue going up left, you will meet an area they call Ravin Banan. First you meet Millingstone, which is another 3 road into another part of the community. You continue going left. You will go up until you find, just follow the main road. You will go until you find where we have a little river, and then there would be something. I'm not sure if that used to be an old mill or if it was a factory where they, I think they used to do mattresses and these things. Then you will find an incline, very winding road. Then you'll continue up, you'll find a plateau. On that plateau, if you continue going right, you'll go on the way to mountain. But if you go left,
You go
That's
to
it,
Grand
Colibri.
Colibri.
Actually, that plateau, you find that small playing field right in front of you. That's where you could say Grand Colibri begins. And then, if you continue going left, that's where you make most of the houses and stuff. So actually, that's the part where I'm from.
Tell us about some of the other areas in Grand, because I'm a little intrigued by that. You started speaking, and I'm hearing about the Ravin area, Ravin Banan. I'm hearing about other little areas.
So, and upon entering Granby, right next to the secondary school, you'll find that area they call Bolong.
Bolong.
Right. Continue going down towards the bayside. That would be called Geneva.
Yes.
So Bolong is almost like bordering, or should I say, part of Geneva.
Okay.
Right.
Do people live there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice. What I say, nice, timid community. Not much noise. People, they're very nice, very quiet.
Okay, so that's Bolong.
Bolong.
And then we talk about Geneva.
Geneva.
Yes.
So you'll not get much houses down in Geneva, but the secondary school is located.
And then the playing field.
And the playing field. Just on the side of the secondary school, there is this new development where we call housing.
Yes.
Where the apartments were built for the single parents and this, less fortunate, should I say. If you continue going to your right, you'll be going up past the secondary school, you're going up into the village.
Right.
On your left-hand side, you'll find another part of the village where we call, that was Bolong, so the other one is, there's so many names, Balapak. Balapak. I think it is named after Bala the slave.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. And then if you continue going up the little hill, you'll find where it's the secondary, the community center is, that's where we call Geneva House.
Okay. So there's Geneva House up that way, but Geneva further down?
No, right. Geneva House is basically where we have people settle down, stay in Geneva is more or less garden and the playing field and this stuff. So in the Geneva House area, if you continue going to there's a little road going up to your it will take you to where we call Geneva Housing Scheme. So we have a part where we call Housing Scheme and a part we call just Geneva House.
Geneva House.
So the hospital could be found in Geneva Housing Scheme area.
Okay.
And just a stone throw away, you'd find the police station right there, the fire station right next to it, and the playing field, which is utilized presently, where we call center, and just a little higher up is actually where the Dubic resettlement was and stuff. And it would be called, I think they're calling it Granby Villa something, some new name they might give it in not too distant future.
Okay.
Right.
Then we haven't spoken about Tetmon.
Oh, we have not written. I'm going to that spot yet.
Yes. Okay.
So if we go back down, probably past.
I'm learning. This is a lesson for me.
So let's say we go back down to where the community center is.
Yes.
We're going to continue going forward. The first turn we'll get to our left will take you down to where we call Highland.
Yes,
that's
I know
where
what
the primary
Highland
school is located. But if we agree, we're not going down to Highland, we'll just continue going forward. Not too far from the junction to take you into Highland, we'll find the youth center, which used to be the spot of our old hospital.
Okay.
Hospital, not health center.
Hospital.
Note, because there were wards in there.
Oh.
People actually stayed there on the wards and think babies being delivered there, and all that. So, we have a bit of history, you know.
Apparently.
Okay. If we continue going down towards the road to take us to Granby, in that small area would be where most people tell you the people say I'm from Berry-Qua Granby. Actually, that's the name that's the area that has this name, Berry-Qua area. If we just pass this bridge from Berry-Qua, we reach Tetlali, which is kind of like we'd say the focus point of the community. From that area, you would take the road going down, which will take you down to the Lally and down to Mabushi, where we call Back Street, all the way there, and or straight down to the sea. But if we continue taking a right, going up, this will take us to Miltonstone, then Hadley, probably I should say Hadley East, Hadley West, or if we follow the road to the left, this will take us to Ravingbanan, which will take us up to where you just described.
A lot of areas.
There's another little spot right next to Hadley, we call Powell. Right. And then if we continue going up, like when we reach the plateau in Grand Colibri, we take a right, we'll go up to Montine and then Tetmon. And if you want to continue, you can just pass through it and go down to Sophia.
Wow.
So we have a lot of small hamlets in that one little area in Granby.
And I hope the audience realized that was just my little way of getting Carlton to make sure that he's comfortable and ready to. And you said, Carlton, you're from Grand Colibri, but that is where you were that's where you were born. Or that's where you went.
My earliest
years, which was about a year and a half.
Between a year and a half to 3 years.
Thereabout. But where are you currently in Granby?
Granby. Backstreet Granby, where we call Lawide Backstreet.
Lawide. So,
believe it or not, I've stayed in that area from the time I left Grand Colibri.
From the time?
Not that far distant. I lived in a house about a stone throw away. And around the corner is where I'm presently living from since I was in primary school up to today.
You were meant to be there, Carlton. You were meant to be there. So you've lived there. So Granby is a community that we know. We're gonna talk in a while about your time growing up in this beloved community. It is known for its rich culture. It is known for some of the very talented people that have come from Granby, including yourself. And very often we hear mention about Asa Banton and Chubby, Midnight Groovers, Michael Henderson, the late Felix Henderson, and all of these amazing people who've come from Granby. On the opposite side, Carlton, you hear the negatives as well. I mean, just recently when the police gave their report, they were talking about the number of murders so far for the year and giving a percentage of, the amount that came from Granby. Help us understand your community, Carlton, from both perspectives.
Okay. It was sad, but I was one of the very first person to admit that at least 5 of the, if it's 14 or 15 murders,
6, they said, came from Granby.
5.
Okay, I think the report said 6, but okay. Mm-hmm.
If I'm remembering clearly, 5, because I make my own basic thing, because I'm a person who feel like I'm blunt. Not because we are best friends and you're messing around, I wouldn't say it to you. And there's one thing, so sometimes it's a good quality, sometimes it can be bad, because there are sometimes when you might try to be nice, people might say, but when you can't, if Carlton come there, Carlton will tell you off on that thing. So I'm not proud that at least we had this type of things going on in my community. I am not one to support people doing nonsense. And I think it's painting a bad picture. But if you and I have to sit down and dissect some of the things, it would not look like I am, sympathetic. But sometimes stupid things happen to stupid people at stupid times, and I think I'll just leave it at this.
You'll just leave it at that.
The short thing I can say, based on the basic knowledge or the little thing I see, these were things that could have been handled better. All of these senseless murders could have been handled better in different ways. Not every time we have an argument or not supporting you in something, I should be the one taking charge and make sure I do something with you. There's another way we can handle it. We can get the police involved, or we can get other persons that may be influential and that may speak to you and probably see how best they can get you to diffuse whatever you have in mind. So some of the nonsense that went on really did not do well for us, the community. Already we are struggling with so many things. To have a show or something, just when we see Asa have Breakfast Step, he gets so many sponsors because of who he is. But if it was for the community, because of the stigma and all of this, senseless behavior that's going on, people would not be turning an eye to Granby. And I can tell you that because I used to be doing a pageant with where we call him, the pageant we used to call Miss South. And sponsorship, it was literally begging and we couldn't get, because people do not want to associate. So people who believe I'm standing up for myself and being a badge and there, you're not doing very good to the community. You're just making the work for people like myself harder. Because right now, if I have to do something in the community, seeking sponsorship is difficult.
And because so it prevents you from even being encouraged to attempt to do anything.
Exactly. Or there are sometimes you will feel like, boy, I just wish I was living somewhere else. Well, honestly, I'll not give my whole life anyway for somebody, not because of some people's senseless and stupid behavior. That's where I feel more connected, more how do I say it? That's where I love, and I don't want to leave it because of some nonsense.
What would you like to see done, though, Carlton?
I would really like to see
can be done.
probably-
So there's the amnesty in terms of the guns, but within your community itself, what do you think can be done?
Right now, to honestly tell you the truth, probably we need some people that could communicate with some of the younger persons in the way that they probably would be able to understand better. Probably myself probably might not be able to communicate with them the way that they want people to communicate with them. But if we could have some influential people that could, how would I say, get to their level, not meaning that their level is lower or higher than mine. What I'm trying to say, because I might be able to speak to you and we understand ourselves. When the way I might come and approach some young people because of probably how I was raised or probably my belief, it might not be meshing with theirs, and it might make them feel like I'm attacking them or I'm trying to get, disrespectful or anything. And I would not really want that type of things going on between myself or probably influential persons that may. But if there is somebody that they could, some people that they could connect with on their level to really show them some of what they're doing is not the best, I would appreciate it and probably like to support it in whatever way I could.
So we're not going to dwell on that very
Yes,
much.
yes.
Let's spin it to the positive.
Okay.
Tell us about the positive, beautiful things about your community,
Okay.
Granby, that you love.
One of the things I love about Granby, it may appear to some people, what do I say, bold-facedness. One thing I love is if a Granby person does not support something, they will let you know that they do not support it. That's one. It can be a good quality. It can also appear to be a bad. If you, what I'm trying to say, for example, we had some years back when we had a protest in the community when they were trying to remove Mr. Alexander as a principal at the secondary school. I don't think the people had a feeling where they wanted, I don't believe they wanted to attack the government or attack the Ministry of Education. They were just checking, our principal is doing so well for us. Why would you just want to come and take him and put him somewhere else? No. If he's good for somewhere else, he's good for us. So here it is, they stood for themselves and appear like they were ignorant or they trying to defy the rule of law or the government. No, they were just trying to say, hey, you don't just take what is good for us and just take it to somewhere else. If it's good, let us have it too. So this is one of the qualities I'm trying to talk about. When they are for something, they stand for it. But it can be seen as a negative at some time. Another thing I love about my community is when you have people involved, like in a pageant or something, they will come out to support. So they really support their own, one way or the other. They may not probably go around the country like, hey, everything. But when the people into something, they will stand by the people. I love the culture in the rawness of the culture in Granby. Some people might say, oh, this can you call the Creole rough way? No, but we don't have to polish everything to try to make it look good. That's us, that's who we are. Let's just share it. When you will probably go somewhere, you will hear people talk about broth. You will not hear the word broth in Granby. Broth. So these are the little things that I appreciate and I love about my community. We tend to be raw. It might be something bad to others, but I like it. It's what makes us unique. At least when you speak, you get somebody say, hey, where are you from, Granby, man? I'm like, yeah. I feel good because at least you can recognize me, you can see the difference. And
so to you, that does not bother you?
Not at all.
That people say,
I'm actually proud.
You're proud of it?
Yeah.
So when you speak and somebody says, hey, I'm to my son, I started to go on, babe, man.
I tell you, like, yeah,
you're proud.
So the next person is like, what? You have a problem?
Yes. What else can you really blow your horn about Granby? Those talented people.
There's so many things here to talk about. The culture, for example, the ballet. To me, when you see a Granby person dance a ballet somewhere else, it's different. I don't know. That's why some people probably tell me I have a passion. I gain a little more love for it when I stand and watch Teacher Adi dance belly. Believe it or not, after 24 years of being in Shadi Bell, with Teacher Adi, I still get amazed every single time she dances.
Her feet are so light.
And I can understand for a lady who is a senior, how can you move around like that? You may not get a full flying around like she used to, but you're still getting her doing that little hop. The rawness of the drum when Abby beats, those type of things make me proud of being from Granby. The songs or type of belly songs, there's always a history behind it. And when you believe like you just hear a song, it's a little simple. When you find out from Teacher Adi or from the older people, they'll tell you, yes, tell back, for example, there's this man where I think Bella them sang the song over the weekend, Sambo Lawi, some soon take away here. He was an actual blind man that was a lead belly singer. He would go all around with them singing bell and everything, but he cannot describe it this because he could not see. So while it is used as a song, like something sensational, it's a true story. Watch, for example, Teacher Adi had that song she made some years back talking about we family man on the Pula Petiti Magoa, so Madame la Literature. It was actually a true story, personal to her.
Interesting.
A real story to her. And when Pearl, that same year we released this song at a performance, Auntie Pearl Christian was at the performance, and after we completed our performance, she was like, Carlton, come on. What's the story behind that song? What's that funny man on it? I find that song, it's different, but I find there's a story behind it. When I gave her the story, she told me she saw it in Adi's eyes. Singing it, that cannot be some sensational something you just sing about. That had to have a back behind it, that actual story. So when I told her the story, she was like, okay.
And Malonette is what again? Ungrateful. Yes, ungrateful. I'm sure there's a real story behind that.
Yeah,
we won't get into tonight.
So these are the little things that make me appreciate my community a little bit more, because I can align things, not just I can align these belly songs. I can align the Lapo Kabrit songs. The songs that we sing with the Lapo Kabrit drum. It's like we always express ourselves either in dance, in song. All of Chobi songs have a story behind it. Exactly, Chobi praised him for that Yokoko. So that's what make me feel like I'm proud to be from Granby, because we live who we are. Meaning, probably if we dancing, we'll make you know who we are, what we're going through, or dancing. If we make it music, we'll express it to you what we want to talk about or what we experience. We'll not talk about Miguel and Asa. These are even more reason exactly. And all of these people are one way or the other connected to me. One way or the other connected to me.
Let's talk, Carlton, about your life as a child. You left Grand Coulibaly and then you went to Granby. Backstreet Granby. There, Lawi. I remember. Lawi there. When I put it back to front, Lawi there. And how much can you remember from your...
I can remember going to preschool.
You can remember going to preschool?
Yeah. Actually, I remember quite a lot. Milia, Joseph and I went to preschool together in the very same area I'm talking to you, like that little triangle. My house was there. The next, my house, my auntie's house, the preschool. A stone throw away was the house where I spent my first early years. So, in the very close to the East, I was not too far from there. About 2 houses away. What did I say? I had like an ordinary childhood like every other person. I was just not fortunate to have some of the luxury gifts that some of them had. So, but I had siblings that I could play with. Actually, my sisters are the closest to my age. My eldest brother is like 9 years older than myself. So you wouldn't find a young boy at that age. You have a little boy pulling behind him probably 2-3 years. By the time I'm like 3, he would have been 12. He would be looking for his friends. So I was more like raised with my sisters.
Okay.
Who are still very, very, very close to me.
And look out for you.
Up to today, I'm still like a baby. Some time back, some friend was like, because I don't know what I came and I asked my sister for. She was like, look and think the boy was like, a big 40-year-old man, you're even thing like, she just like, hey, you can see what you're like, my baby brother.
That's it.
He might be that age, but that's my baby brother. Because actually, all of my sisters would like have me under their arm because I'm like the last son. Mother is always on the move trying to do her little hustle, my father on his hustle, and they home. So basically, I was raised, you could say, with my sisters up to today.
All right. And you talk about mother and father. I like to get a little bit of the family history.
To get emotional. Okay, my mother is a hustler, I could say. From the time I'm very small, independent lady. Although my father was around, but she would not wait for him to be the one to do everything.
What's her name, Carlton?
Mary. She used to be Mary Martin, but she's Mary Henry now because they were
okay.
married sometime ago.
Okay.
My mother was a vendor. She is still a vendor. She still wants to practice her selling of stuff. All what we try to discourage, but she's an independent person. Although she had 9 of us, but she still do not wait.
9 of
yes.
you.
She do not wait for people to tell her, look. If her children agree, yes, look, she'll take. No problem in probably asking, but she wouldn't go out and ask. She always wants to do her own thing.
Independent.
Even at that age.
Yes.
She's almost 80, but she still
She's almost 80.
The lady still washes her clothes, still you cannot cook food for her because she has to get something to tell you. It's not in her face. So she's always that person that independent, and I think I probably get that bit of independence from her. Yeah. My father, how can I say, struggled with alcoholism for most of his life.
Oh, okay.
For most of his life. So I was not fortunate to get, how would I say, the upbringing from the thing. I don't believe it was his fault to just choose wrong, but I think it just happened. I accept it. We loved him as much and would not treat the world. And if I have to leave again and have an alcoholic father like him and still have love, I would still accept it.
So in spite of that, you still got love from him.
Mm-hmm.
You all got love from your father.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he today, Carlton?
This October will be 10 years he left.
He passed. He passed away. Yeah. Okay. Outside of the alcoholism, though, what type of man was he?
A lot of love to share. That's why I tell you, I would not trade anything.
Mm-hmm. But what
very caring.
What was his life like outside of the alcoholism?
When he would not, during my father's one of the nicest, most helpful, what I say, caring person, very soft-hearted. If you become, if you came into a family circle and probably just say, you probably have to travel or you're going through something, my father would be consistent until you call. He's that kind of loving and caring person.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever little bit of struggles he would do on the not struggle, should I say, the little hustle to bring
home some bacon.
Right. He would try his very best to do it. So the alcoholism didn't take from he being a loving and caring person. There were just probably the times when probably night come, we have to drink, but we just drink a little too much. I think so. But I think that was a struggle for him because you could see beyond that he would always want to be the best he can be and see whatever he can give. There was not much he can give, and then I think he had an accident at one point and then just couldn't work anymore. So when you can't work, what do you want to do?
How did that impact your family, Carlton?
I am the only child my parents had together.
Okay.
So even he
was not special.
Even he wasn't able to give all what he could give. I had older siblings that helped my mother take care of me, and my mother would actually do whatever she could. Like I said, she's always also go to the gardens, the guavas, limes, whatever she could get her hands on, take it to the market to sell, and whatever she come up with, all of us eat. Until my older siblings were able to maneuver their own way. Who went to go and look to fight for their living, but then we always a close-knit family. So whoever went out and whatever they get would come back home and we would share. Even though we were in a very small house, we were very, very comfortable. Until everybody could be on their own now. And amazing, everybody's on their own and everybody doing very well.
What's the lesson from it, Carlton, for you in terms of...
One of the very first lessons I would say, never let where you come from determine where you reach or who you turn out to be. Let it be probably a stepping stone or your inspiration for greatness. And that's actually what I did. Not allow coming from a background of a mother that's a little hostile, see what she can do, and then a father being an alcoholic, it had to kick me back. I had to find my own person and actually navigate through life and see what I could get.
At any point in your life when you grew up, did you think of the possibility of helping him, finding ways to help him? Or you believe it was probably a lost cause?
No. I mean, that's why I tell you struggle, because he himself wanted to get off. But you know, I don't want to be skeptical, but I think when you reach a point when, I'm not saying no return, but then it took a toll on him until actually I think it affected his health, because he had several complications in the later part of his life. I think the alcohol contributed. So he did at one point, technically, I would say at one point give up. But you know, some people, when you struggle with it for years, you might one day probably take a shoot. The shoot you take probably make you feel like you're down again. But then I think it affected his life in the latter part.
How did that part of his life impact your life and the decisions that you may have made along those lines? So, for example, do you drink? Do you drink socially? You know, did you take a page from his book and say, "I'm not going in that direction"?
I do drink, but I
socially.
I tend not to try and make it take over me. Or you also have to have a level where you could say, "Okay, I drink rum, so you know, no, I have to stop now."
Okay.
You know what? I need to take a wash out.
Okay.
I need to drink some coconut water. Let me just purge myself.
Right.
Let me just cleanse myself.
Right.
So I tend to have that kind of control.
So you can control. So it's more a social thing from your end, and you know where to draw the line.
Although trust me, when I'm ready, I feel like I want to party. I party. But after I party, I'll say, okay, you know what? Let me drink some coconut water. Let me drink some water. Let me flush my system. Let me do this. Let me do that. Okay, you know what? I'm not drinking. No, I'm not drinking today. You know that type of thing.
So you're aware.
Yeah.
You're very aware.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, as a little boy, growing up in that community, what were the things that you did? What are the things that stood out for you within your community?
Okay, I was always that agile young man, always running around, always thing. But part of me being involved in culture and probably pageantry and all of the things that I said that I informed you that was, it stemmed from my early years, because I'm always intrigued by people doing things. So when I might pass there, see you on your phone, I'm going to stop there and look at you for the longest while, see what you do. It's like I always get right. Up to today, I still have that little, how do I say, that little interest in everything. I would pass by a house, I see building today, I see they probably put 3 rows of blocks. Tomorrow around, passing trying to see if they put 4. Another, it's like I'm always looking out for something to describe, something to get excited by the, how do I say, the progress and that thing. So I was always out there looking for something, always running around with friends. And,
child.
yeah.
You like to explore.
Yes.
You like to discover.
Absolutely.
That was. Tell us about school.
That was another struggle I had though, and I didn't realize it until I was at a certain age or certain, should I say, certain level in school.
But I'll tell you something, pause before you continue, and that is the purpose of this program. In the spotlight, we are here to share our stories so that others could learn, others could be motivated, others could be inspired, and others could take action against similar happening to them.
Okay.
Tell us your story, Carlton.
Yeah, no problem. So actually, I in my earlier years of school, I was in classes where I did not realize I was in a slow class.
Right.
So I discovered late during my common entrance time, or just preparing for common entrance. So I will always be probably I'll always say I'm like 1 to 3 in class, not realizing that sometimes I was placed in probably in a class where I guess I was learning at a slower pace.
Okay.
I realized later that I was a more pictorial learner.
Right.
I have to see things to learn, as I explained
Visual.
technically. Visual learner. I have to see things and probably sit with you. You do it, then I see you do it, and then I would go on. But then the fact that I was with the slow children, I would not realize that. I think when I reached grade 6, I am checking, but as though I'm not on the same level with some of these people. However, teachers worked with me, and I think I did my very best. But the first time I had the opportunity to write common entrance, I do not want to say I was deprived, but later in life, the teacher explained to me that I was not ready.
So you went back?
No, I was kept in the class.
No.
Oh, years later?
Yes.
Because I actually had a beef for years, and I feel like she took the chance from me, she took the thing. But then I was never like hating on her, but I was just feeling. But when we spoke later, like, she explained to me that I was not ready at the time, and she did not want to. What I say, when you know someone are ready not to go and try to do a full out of them, or probably try to think. So she probably didn't explain that to my mother at the time.
Okay.
Or if she did, my mother didn't take the opportunity to explain to me, so I didn't realize what was going on. So by my second year, how did I write the first? Right. I had 2 chances, I think, to write common entrance.
Right.
It's either, if I'm trying to remember, it's either the first year I went and I did not pass, or the second year I was kept. Anyway, something wrong. I think I had 2 chances, but I was also a very young person.
Right.
Probably about 11. I think I wrote common entrance very early. And either I didn't get I think the first year I went, I did not pass, and the second year I was kept back for whatever reason. So the thing is, I registered everything, but the teacher did not send me. But when my friends came back from the exam, Carlton, they called your name, wait for you to write the exam, because remember, you have to register a month in advance. I'm like, okay, but you wrote 2 exams already, it makes no sense. I go the following day and stuff. So I stayed a whole year in grade 7 without writing common entrance. Then I went to the GSP program where I stayed for 3 years. Did a lot of skills, and which I enjoyed for 4 years. And then we wrote the GSP exam. I got a second grade. Happened to be that the teacher explained to me some years it was one of the highest. Then I went to secondary school, grades second form.
Pierre Charles?
At that time it was
Granby Secondary School.
Then I think I doubled third form, or should I say, right? I doubled third form. Oh, I was borderline, and at that time, I think your teachers had a bit of authority where they would say, "No, you can do better, keeping you back." So I think I had just the basic thing. So the teacher checked like, no, you need to stay back with me and things so.
And you know it's not always a bad thing.
It's not
always a bad thing.
I had the opportunity to help one of my nieces like that because her mother was not too pleased with me. She asked me what you think and things so, and I just like, no, she's very young and I know she's smart. She probably would have been going through something at the time when she think, no, we live in her. And I think she did well.
She did well.
She did very well.
What did that do for you though?
Right, I think it made me better because I would have left probably with persons my age, but at that time it would not probably, I probably have left school without the knowledge that I have now. So I was kept back. At the time I wasn't too happy, but then I get to understand why. I reach up to 4th form when I was going through some real struggles. One day go to school, next day don't go to school. When you put all the days together for my schooling in 4th form, I think it would probably be just about a term. And there's 3 terms in this.
Yes.
I was not feeling that I should have continued, probably I should be in school. And at that time, I don't believe the family didn't care, but I'm the only one of my mother's children who actually went through high school. So I'm not saying they didn't care, but I probably feel...
You didn't get the support that you needed. So to you, it didn't matter whether you went to school or not.
Yeah.
No big deal. Was a big deal. And at that time, probably you didn't even understand that you needed to be in school to get an education, to become independent, your own person, and pursue even further studies.
Yeah. So actually what happened is when we reached 4th form, I decided, what, I'm quitting. And I stopped going to school for a while. And the deceased Edridge's mother summoned me to her home one day because that these were people in the community who would look out for you. So actually, teacher Mark didn't realize, no, I can't go in school now. So she got me, come and check me. So one day I came to check her, and while we were speaking, she's like, Carlton, why are you not going to school? You should be going to school, man. If it's probably snacks you don't have or whatever you don't have, come to me, I'll come up things. Here comes my dear friend, while his mother talking to me.
Ed, the late Ed.
Yeah. So when he reached there, see, mommy, what's happening there? So his mom was checking like, come. You know, you're already. So like, okay, why are you not going to school? Why are you not going to school? Why? He used some choice words. Why are you not going to school? What? So his mother like, you don't speak to the person child like that. Mommy, leave me. What comes want to become another parent on the street then? No, you're going to school. If you don't have money for that, come to me. And it was a rough up.
Yes. But you needed it.
The next week I went to school and never stopped.
You never stopped.
Never stopped. And I went on for fun. I actually failed everything.
Of course, because you went to very little school.
And then there was this teacher at school. He was like, boy, Carlton, I know you can do better, but because of lack of school and things, so he checked like, boy, no, we can't leave you down there. So he went to the principal and spoke to the principal saying, but still watch the grades, but I will finish it. But she's still checking like, nah, Carlton, I'm doing everything for the school. Carlton always involved in this class. This is Mr. Alexander. Nous avons écouté.
Oui.
And then I left secondary school with 5 general CXC.
5 general CXC subjects. Imagine if. By the way, what were you doing on the days that you didn't go to school?
Just
lingering around.
Free up. Go where I feel like I want to go today or just hang out.
And that was it. Imagine, Carlton, if you had gone through school as you were supposed to in 4th form. Because 4th form is somewhat the foundation or the stepping stone to 5th form, to CXC or whatever it is called now, and you were still able to get 5 subjects.
5 general subjects. That is something else.
Good job.
Yeah, man.
So you see, that is why even before you started, I didn't know what your story was. I'm hearing it for the first time in terms of the high school element. But I just knew something was coming there. And this says, never give up. Never give up. And it's good that there are people within your community that could come to you and straighten you up a bit and get you in school. As to whether that can happen today, I don't know. But back in the day, the community raised the child. And so the community came through for you, and you are where you are today.
Yeah, that's why, hence the reason I'm giving back to the community.
I don't know if we've gone further in terms of the education.
I don't mind going further.
But if we've not, let's start.
In terms of you would not believe what was the motivating part for the principal this year. My very much involvement in school, in culture, in the whole theater arts, stage and everything. It was like, nah, you're too involved, you're too thin, we can't leave him go, like, we have to sing. And at that time, that's when I started my kind of theater, kind of stage. You can imagine at that time in my life, I started chaperoning children for school, helping teach her to choose the girls from SPC, Granby Secondary School and this thing. So because of that involvement, so that's why I tell when a parent tell a child, no, you're not in that, you don't have any, you have your schoolwork to do. I always discourage you because I know what it did for me.
Yes.
That's what made me push. I wanted to read better for the night, but I wanted to do theater.
Yes.
I wanted to do theater arts. To be able to be a good theater student, you have to be able to learn to read and learn to read properly. Learn to be articulate, learn to be, how would I say, let your words be fluent. Hence, I was able to read because I wanted to do my theater parts. And I had struggles reading before, but the fact I wanted to do my theater part, I had to learn to read properly. Learn to be able to comprehend, learn to be able to how would I say, understand better.
As I was saying, let's take it a step further.
Okay.
Around culture, around theatre, wherever it is, even if we start with an associate's degree, Carlton, you can do it. You've proven that you can do it, eh? So you're going to do it again. Let this, if anything comes out from this In the Spotlight program tonight, let it be that Carlton is going to go a step further. Because you can do it, Carlton.
I started actually I started at the Dominica State College, but because of struggles, I just quit and went to volunteer. I need a job.
You need a job.
I need a job, and that's how I went to DFC and worked for 7 years, because I was struggling and I just left.
But guess what, Carlton? There is online.
I actually started something online with the University of the People, but because of my work and how busy and thing, I had to.
Yes,
to take
and there will be those hurdles, but sometimes.
And I can tell you,
we have to make the sacrifices.
I get fire from Wilson for that.
Of course, as he should, and as I am tonight, and Marva going to give you too, right? Because you know Marva is just going there when the education is concerned.
But like I tell
your body and
like
your
I tell
power.
Mr. Matthew and the others, I am a person I believe in. I have a lot of faith, and I believe a lot in the Spirit and in God.
Yes.
And I always say, things happen to me in my own timing, and not in God's own timing, and not my own timing. I may want to do the degree right now, and if He feels no,
it's
there are other things I
worry.
have you to do, and when I'm ready for you for the degree,
He'll
get
give
the
you
job.
the direction.
So, seeing that I had the struggles and everything, I prayed about it, and I said, Father, for now, I feel that's not where I should be struggling mentally and everything. And at that time, my eye was giving me a lot of problems.
Well, don't worry. Maybe
So
tonight
mentally,
He's speaking to you through me.
Yeah.
How about that, Carlton?
Yeah.
In terms of school, you said you started getting involved in the arts and so on while you were at the Granby Secondary School. Tell us about some of your engagements there in the school, the things you got involved in, and the things that started to motivate you from there.
I started off, my involvement in school extra activity started off as an athlete. Used to run, but I used to always feel like I am not the best athlete. It's like I always believe like I'm a fill in the blanks. And when you cannot get when you can't get somebody to run the race, they throw me in there. So I would still want to do my little athletics, still do it. But when I discovered theatre arts with Adriana Henderson, they were doing, I think, a little play they called Paper Pile or something. So I said, you know what? I was like this to see people on stage. Let me go and try something out. And from there on, I just trade the tracks for the stage. And I never turned back. So I started doing theatre arts with Teacher Adi as an extracurricular activity. Then staying around her more when there's little pageants and watching what the children doing. Then when they have preparation for plays, the school used to be very much involved in taking part in drama competitions and stuff. So I would stay there, just look at what they're doing until my turn came. And I was chosen as an actor and stuff. And I did it all through 4th form, 5th form, and even in the middle of CXC. My drama club represented the secondary school in numerous countries. Actually, we went to Antigua, Guadeloupe, Martinique, and we even took part in the Caribbean Secondary School Drama Festival in Antigua. It was our very first year taking part, and among 10 schools, we were about in the top 2. Jamaica beat us, but then we came back with many awards. We came back with an award. I think I got the award for most promising actor. I think Karen Mark, I don't know if you can remember this girl called Little Karen, blue hair, short little kind of act. If I show you, you're like, oh, that girl. Karen, I think, got the most outstanding actress award we got for most best director, most creative play and stuff. I don't think when we came back, we were nominated for Fame Awards at that time. They had Fame Awards and stuff. Unfortunately, we didn't win. But at least the recognition of being a nominee was just up there for us. We were so happy to be in. After that, did theatre arts with the community, with Mr. Regis when they would put together some plays and stuff. And from there, I think that's where my passion for doing pageantry even grew more.
So before we move on to pageantry, in terms of theatre, what roles did you play? What roles did you enjoy playing? What was it about theatre that you enjoyed?
I just like being another character, not myself. I loved being a different person. Most of my parts would be as a father, because most of the people I've been playing with are younger than me. So there was one thing Marvin and I was a mother and father. I think that's the play we went around the Caribbean with. I think it's Once Upon a Time, Dominica. It was written and directed by Jose Player, a Frenchman who was the director of Alliance Francaise de la Dominica.
There, Marvin is saying the play was Once Upon a Time in Dominica. Yes.
Yeah. So that play, I think it taught us a lot. It taught us a lot about life. And imagine once we had to take this play and change it all the way into Creole, representing Dominica in Martinique. But for then we got a shock of our life when we go to Martinique. We did it normal in our, how would I say, normal style in Creole, how we do a basic thing. Now we have to do it in a school. They tell us most of the children there are doing English. So can we do the play in English?
No way.
After doing the play for over probably almost a whole year in English, so for that, you know, it's tongue twisters now.
Yes, yes.
God, when we reached now, one of our members got sick. Patricia got sick. So now the play was just enough persons. There are 10 characters, one girl left early. So we had one person playing 2 characters, that's Bella. Patricia fell sick, so now Bella have to assume Patricia part and her part and the other girl part. And there was a part in the play when about I was supposed to go what you call Don one, but you know what we call it, Don John or whatever it is, a player. So happened with one girl shot now, so Bella have to assume the girl's position and still is. Marva now had a cue to come in on stage. Marva don't hate me. For whatever reason, when the part for Marva to come on stage, and me being the Don one, I had to go and speak to every different girl in a different language. What that Mumu had to be doing Mumu language. Who speaking Koko? I had to
Because breaking making up everybody.
To talk Koko, yeah man. Who say they from the France, so I have to say Paris la Tour Eiffel. You know? When come from Marva, but I take it back, I say, be curious, sit back and not come to the stage. So we both here, the play breakdown. For then I don't know what I had to, I do some kind of other thing and go backstage pretending like that, so I'm looking for more. I had to grab Marva, bring Marva taking, no, but she's not going, that's not her cue.
So it really was not her cue?
It was not cue because the girl who got sick was before her.
Oh.
And then when you're still very young, you don't know how to cover up. Things like, no, we've covered that up.
Easily.
But I know that was the best swing.
Marva laughing. It was for Marva.
So we had to, boy, I had a time of my life. I really, and I think that this early proper training of theatre arts helped me not just for stage, but in my life. Because that part I'm just speaking about where I had to go and get Marva backstage. For dance, I already make mine. I think came in that training from the play. I am now at a stage like, hey, you know, if that's not working, I'm moving straight to the other thing. Do not let a stumbling block.
You have to improvise. You have to improvise.
So I think my training in theatre arts actually gave me that kind of way of improvising life. If something's not working, move on to the other, or just if you can jump higher than where the block is, go for it.
What has been one of your most favorite characters that you've played?
I think it's that very play, you know.
This in Don Juan.
Don Juan, because up to today I can relate to it in so many ways. I love playing the father, I don't know why. But I love playing the older people. I'm able to express myself better because of the way they would speak, the way they would do things. One part I always wanted to play, never get to play, and I think it's not too late if I get to play in a play, is to act as an old lady. I don't know why. And I think then I always wanted to do it, and then seeing Tyler Perry did it as Madia, I think it was more inspiration. It was more inspiration.
I hope you get the opportunity to fulfill that one little dream.
There's one part I didn't get to play is as an old lady. and I really, 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 really want to do it.
How much of acting do you do now?
I hardly, but the joke about it is my co-workers and some friends will tell me, but Carlton, best you on a stage, really. My life is like acting now. For times we might be there, pull up, and we'll just make a march and start acting up, start dancing like a crazy, start talking some stupid thing with you, like, well, he going mad now, but I still get to do it in my everyday, but not as a full-time gig. Like to say I'll be in a play with Steve Hyacinth for a play. I don't get the opportunity now, I think because I'm probably always busy, always running back and forth. But I think if I get the opportunity to be a character in another play, I would gladly take it.
Let's move to your involvement in pageantry, and you said that started from the Grande Secondary School.
Yeah, I think there was a time they were having a Miss South pageant, and some girl, I always like to go, like I tell you, go and look at things, so that they were practicing or something. And then they're looking at her, and one day she's like, Carlton, come and help me now. I'm like, for what? Oh, come, I'm going to do this, do that. What do you think about that? So I'm like, I will do that instead. So she was like, okay, come. And every day she had me dragging behind her doing things. Only to find out later I was actually doing the role of a chaperone. I knew I was a chaperone at the time. So it's help fix her clothes, help do this, do that for her, do this. I'm like, okay, that was a myth solved. That passed. Somebody else came and had me dragging along the same thing. It's one day I think Amy was doing a show, Amy James. So the same thing, me basically going and sit while they were doing their training and stuff, watching people doing the thing. Teacher had to make the young ladies entertained for she going to do something, so and surely do the practice. So I'm looking at them and saying, no, that's not what teacher had to make you do. That's not what you should do on that thing. I still didn't take that for nothing. I actually not know what was the role of chaperone at the time. I went home, so later teacher had calling me, Carlton, Amy tell me that you are chaperone for, I like chaperone, what is a chaperone means? Yeah, she tell me, what she tell me is you got training now, you are doing things. I say, Miss training, I don't know nothing about that. Tell me what you have to do it because the child thing, then give me when they want to tell her mother. It's me that is a chaperone, and like Papa wants, yeah. So I said, well, if you can say that, let's try.
Let's see what we can do.
She actually did the Miss South with my Miss Grande Secondary School with my help. She won.
She won.
Yeah. Actually.
That's a joke in itself.
Yeah. She won. So then I think she took part in some other shows. She won.
And you were helping her.
Yeah. When she went.
Chaperone.
We had that connection so much that there was one show Amy was going to do, I think it's in Miss South. Amy said, I'm married. Once Carlton tell me, I will do. The day of the show, Amy did not know her talent. She just trusts me that she'll get something about 6 o'clock in the night when the show was 8 o'clock when I reach. Amy, look that I'm going, I want you to do, and look at the music back. Amy was just in her underwear. She's like, okay. She just took what I tell her. Next thing, 2 hours later, Amy on the stage with the talent. She did not say it's a talent. I was not rehearsing for years.
Are you serious?
But
So Carlton, you had it in you without you knew you had it in
I
you.
didn't know. So it was by honesty.
So Amy brought it out.
Yeah.
Amy.
I
Where is
gave
Amy
her-
today?
In St. Thomas. I think
Okay.
she's living.
Okay.
Because that's why I think she did mention to somebody if it was me, we perform his family because she thinks she would have. Because I know how she works. She works under pressure. The more pressure she have, is the more you get out of her and stuff.
So after Amy came what and whom?
I do Amy, I worked with numerous ladies, but after Amy, I think I did. Okay, let me just try. I may not remember it in order.
No problem.
I did Miss World Duet for a number of ladies.
Mm-hmm.
I did gain a number of second runner-ups, and then came the trio, Nadia Roach in 2010, Zena Elise in 2011, Cortella in 2012, back to back with Miss World Duet.
Back to back.
For music for Grande, I worked with number of people I can't remember.
But Carlton, tell me though, how did you understand? At what point did you understand what it is that you were doing and what it required and how you prepared yourself? Because you were now a chaperone, How did you prepare yourself to be a chaperone?
I had a passion for pageants, long, but I didn't know. You could probably say I did not know what was the role of a chaperone, but I was able to dissect a pageant or dissect the show. I started listening to Miss Dominica. I have not missed Miss Dominica either in person, watching it live, or listening to it on radio from 1992. I know all of the queens from 1992 by heart till this year.
You know that. So if I will ask you to tell me, would you be able to tell me?
Yes.
I'm going to test you.
Choose a year.
I'm going to just choose a year. Okay, let's start with 1992.
Gloria Ofa.
Gloria Ofa. In what year did I grow up? Ha!
I think you were either the year of Donny Whelan, or if not that year, the year after.
The year after. Correct. Oh my God. Okay, let's see. 2005.
2005. Let's make it was 2010. I'm Charlene Richards.
Well, I myself can't tell you yes or no because I don't have it in front of me. So can you go I'm a passer for a fact.
No.
But good job though, Carlton. So you got into the whole pageantry thing, and up to today you love it. What has the pageant journey been like?
It's a very trying experience, but it's an experience that you're able to pass on some of your knowledge and skills to some people who sometimes, how do I say, able to pass these skills and knowledge to other persons. Some of them could be very grateful after you helping them. Some people can be very ungrateful. It could be an experience that either you just hate after or you fall in love with. Because why I'm saying that, because some of us sometimes go the extra mile and give people a lot. Spend our own money, spend our, spend things that we do not have. Get resources from places that we would not usually get for ourselves. And it really could teach you a lot. Sometimes there are skills in you that you do not even know that you had. That through going the thing of chaperoning, you get to know, hey, I'm good at that, man. Something you don't. I will call my dear friend Charlie and you tell me, boy, Carlton, you don't know. I find it. She ever think tell me, boy, you are the best walking coach, you know. I'm like, gosh, I'm really good at saying, no, but Carlton, most girls that you work with, they have that kind of skill, that kind of way they walk and they think so. And I'm like, Charlie, you think so? She's like, yes, you do. I'm like, I didn't know I had that impact on somebody's walking. How I was able to probably tell people, teach people how to walk better. I had a kind of, what do I say? A way of walking where my body kind of, the upper part was more forward and things. So then I tried to train myself to walk upright. And in walking up, trying to walk upright, I didn't realize it's like a skill of walking that I kind of develop. And then somebody said, you're walking like a model, then you're walking like a model, you know. It's like, no, because I was feeling my body was kind of twisted, and then looking at yourself in the mirror, it's like, my shape, like, try to bring up myself. So if every day I keep on walking, so after a while, naturally, it might just stay so. So in doing that, I realized, okay, that walking upright looks a bit tall, it looks a bit thin. So whenever I teach a girl to walk, I would usually tell them, hold yourself upright and carry yourself, let your legs carry you on this thing. So a skill that I helped develop for myself in walking, end up using it for persons and giving them a better way of walking, keeping the body upright and stuff.
All right. Moving along from that, you said you started at the Dominica State College.
Yeah.
But then you decided you were going through a difficult time. You were struggling and you wanted to work. Was that your first job at DFC?
No, I think I worked for the little job. But straight from high school, I went to, that one we don't need to linger on that. No? Straight from high school, I went to religious studies.
Really? Carlton, you tell a pair?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I really don't think at the time it was my calling.
Okay. So it was short-lived?
Short-lived.
All right, how short-lived? 2 months, 3 months? How far did you get?
A couple months, and then I came back home.
You had gone out?
Yeah. I actually was in a seminary.
You were in a seminary? Carlton, well, at least for me, I'm learning things tonight.
Not many people know that because it's straight from high school.
Yes, straight from high school.
Graduating from high school, the next month I was gone.
You were gone to become a priest, to study to become a priest, but it wasn't for you.
At the time.
At the time.
You know what God had.
You still don't know what God has in store for you.
Because you can run for years and when it's ready. My dear friend ran for years and when God was ready, he plays in there. To me, he's one of the best priests.
Are you talking about
I'm not calling any name. So you never know. I can run all my run, and if that's what he has for me, you never know.
That is true.
I'm always willing and ready for whatever God's will is, let it be.
Okay.
So even though I could become probably the best or chief cultural officer or one day probably minister of culture, and God tell me, no, that's not what he wants. And I want to be in a seminary. That's what here. That's me and my faith. I believe whatever God had for me, that's what I do.
Did you ever regret not staying on to continue?
No.
At this point, up to this point? No.
It's something I really prayed about.
Okay.
Because when I say I was going through the struggles of doubts and all these things, you know what? I took a while, about a serious 2 weeks, not communicating with anybody. And there was just prayer and fasting, and then at the end of it, I felt, no. The end result was either the year before ordination, preparing for ordination, or the year after I would have left. So I just prayed about it and just like, you know what? Let God do His will.
You speak a lot, Carlton. When we come back from this, we'll talk about what you came back to in Dominica and where you went on from there. But throughout our conversation, you speak a lot about struggles. Have you been through a lot of struggles in life, and how have you been able to deal with those struggles?
I think one, prayer. And I think I recall a lady telling me very young that you're a child, I think you will go through a lot of struggles to get to where you are. I do not want to dwell on because she said that. It's a fact.
Yes.
It's a fact. Struggle with school, struggle with probably people, how you coming at? Not accepting people are different, and not because probably how would I say that? Just from alleyway that they have to look down. So I kind of had some of that probably growing up as well, and then people always want to compare. I used to like singing very young. Oh, were you singing like a girl or whatever thing? I stopped singing in church. I stopped singing. I always wanted to become a fashion designer, and then people were like, "Oh, fashion designer, this and that and that and that and that."
So they put some kind of connotation.
So I have that struggling of finding my own self, my own identity and stuff.
Yes.
Until I reach an age and I don't give two who what you think or whoever think.
Agreed.
So I'm loving it. I love myself as
who you are. As who you are. That's
so
it.
First of the world, if I can say that on radio.
It's fine. So you said something even worse. Good night, Simeon, if you tuned in, my friend.
Yeah.
So, and that's life, Carlton, you know. People will always be people. Society will always be society. We will always want to judge people, malign people, and do all of that. But within ourselves, we know who we are, and we take each day one at a time, and we move on with our lives.
Well, I must tell you, with the struggles growing up, it was a big thing. But at one point, I was like, I built up myself, and I'm like, if I want,
Teflon.
if
Bounces
I
off
want
you.
to become a fashion designer, I will.
That's
not
it.
what you say will not deter me.
And who knows? Maybe that's what we'll study. Who knows? You understand, Carlton?
I think I might more run for theatre arts overall.
Okay.
Because in the 13, I think was it 13 or 11 years after leaving high school, I just one day make up my mind I want to do theatre at CXC level. And teacher Adi actually told me, you know what, we actually have a program going on at this school, that's the second day taking part. Would you want to take in signing up for the exam? You want to do it? I was like, okay, yes. She gave me the curriculum, or should I say the syllabus, the syllabus to do it. I just went through the syllabus, did my case study. I had to do one on some lady done in Blackmore. Then I had to critique a play. You could either go and look at a play or take a video and look at it. I bought a video DVD from Steve Hyacinth. I critiqued my play, and then I had to go and do 2 acting parts. Lo and behold, believe it or not, that was the CXC and made me enjoy myself even more. That was my first one. Without sitting in a
Your first one. Your CXC 1, grade 1.
Something I did not sit in a class for.
Imagine that.
Because that's my whole passion.
That's your passion. That's your passion. So you went, when you decided, the priesthood, you prayed, you fasted, and you decided, okay, the seminary, priesthood is not for me right now. You made the decision to come back to Dominica. Obviously, you would have had to leave. What were you returning to Dominica to?
Honestly, I didn't know at the time. But when I came back, not long after I began teaching, I didn't know what I left for. I just like, what I came back home, whatever I won't have from here or there. When I came back, I ended up becoming a substitute teacher at the Granby Primary School, holding on for different persons. When the teacher would go back to college, probably a couple of months, I'll be holding on. Did that for about 2-3 years.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. Yeah, weirdly, yes. Because I can consider myself the unconventional teacher. I do not like just sitting in the class and teaching. I would always ask permission from the principal to, can I take my children outside? Can I get my children to go and a little trip away or from the school outside?
Can you get creative with them?
Yes. I never liked my class like just looking forward. I would either put the chairs in some circular way so I'm moving around the class more freely. I would get up there was once I think I got a couple plants, brought it into the class. So just to teach the children responsibility, and I would say, hey, who wants to water my plant today? And this type of thing. And you'd have children come to school early because they want the opportunity to water today. No, today's me throwing the rubbish. No, today's me doing. So I kind of always get a way to make all the learning more interesting and stuff. If I would be teaching about plants or probably certain sites, I would take them out of the class, tell them, look around, what would you see, and this type of thing. So I love that because I was not doing it the conventional way, the way it's supposed to be. So it's like my whole creativity, I get to pass it on to children in my whatever way I could.
So it started there. Mm-hmm. It started there.
So I would teach off, and when I probably couldn't get anything, I went back to college.
Okay. Stay.
No, I think I left and went to England.
You went to England? Yeah. Okay.
Stayed in England for a couple of months and then came back again because I get bored just staying in a house in England.
Okay. Were you trying to get work or?
I wanted to work, but the lady I was living with was scared that I had no papers and in case immigration come and she don't want me to go back down as a deportee and stuff. So it was just like home and recreation, but I needed to be active. Mm-hmm. So I came back down, and from coming back to Dominica, I think I taught for a little while again, and then I went started college. So when I started college, stayed in college for about 2 years, and I got a little frustrated because I got a little financial issue where I got my way to speak to the religious, and they were able to pay my high school, my college really.
Okay.
But when it came to bus fare and all that going up there, I was struggling, and once there was exam time and I tried to go get my exam done and I couldn't get finance to go there to do it, so I was a little frustrated and just like, you know what?
But even after you had gotten that far, 2 years?
I think around that time when I was thinking of quitting, it just called from New York. Carlton, what you do? Is it there? No. I got the opportunity to represent Dominica in Martinique to do ballet dancing. So I went, I think, with Bella and about. We came back either the Wednesday or the first day, and then Mr. Regis was like, what are you doing, Carlton? I need to represent Dominica in South Korea. Like, South Korea? Because I never heard that place before. Yes. What are you doing? You want to do it or not? So I'm like, okay. So then Mikhail, myself, and a girlfriend thing, in less than 2 weeks after that, off to South Korea to represent Dominica in an international youth festival and stuff.
What you had to do there?
Just be a young person, basically young person representing Dominica, and then kind of do a slight exchange of cultures and stuff. And it was just an experience, actually, not nothing much you had to do, just gain experience with other young people. It's like a youth
Learn
rally.
other cultures.
Right, like a youth rally, we share with them, they share with us. And then, upon my return to Dominica, that's when I went to Mr. Coffee, and I was like, Mr. Coffee, I am young, I'm frustrated, I'm desperate. I need a job now. And he was like, actually, when I went there, he was away promoting Dominican thing. When I went to check on Martha there, then Jackie and they were like, come and help us man things. So I started volunteering for about a week. I think about a week or something. So when he came back, he met me kind of volunteering. That's when I went to him. He said, I'm Coffee. I told him, no, you're not going to do nothing stupid. I'm going to take you into my hand. Let's go.
Wow, Coffee.
Without an application, I'm not getting in trouble for that.
No, you won't.
Without an application, but I'm checking like, no, I
that
know
can't get very in trouble.
I know you too long on that thing. So no. Then Val took me, they mentored me in DFC as much as he could. Whenever, imagine the fact that I did not apply no, but whenever my contract would end, my no contract would end as soon as they bring back again. Went on like that until he left, but by that time I was a bit more settled at DFC and stuff.
Yes.
I learned quite a lot there. Quite a lot. So I am not vexed, or I should not say I'm not mad that I took the opportunity at the time to learn, because I believe, I don't know if I could do that, probably completed the college, probably for the frustration of the thing. But I got to work early, and it really actually helped develop me to who I am.
What was some of the experiences that that you learned from at DFC under the tutelage of Val, your friend Marva, and some of the
right now, I think I can run any office for them. I know how to do deposits. I know how to respond to letters that if you want to shield your boss how to go ahead doing that, I do that from Marva. I think up to today I get in that phone manners. I think I got some of that from the college, but the fact Martha would like, because when I'm doing that, answer the phone for me. So it's like I learned how to be a receptionist. I think I can be a secretary. I think I can probably sit in the accounts person is not in. I think I learned from all that I learned from Jackie. Learn to do deposits. Learn to do how you call this thing, like if you given an advance and then you bring it back. I know all of this. I know how to prepare all of this.
And how many years you said you stayed there?
I stayed there for about 7 years.
For what, 7 years?
But they got the opportunity to teach me everything. I learned
and
branding.
You were like a sponge and you're just soaking in.
Learn how to do branding up to today. Imagine my basic branding skills, learning branding skills, everything. I was able to pass it on to a company now, help them with their branding.
Wonderful.
And even after like I used to be on their board, even after I left their board, I am still probably sometimes asked, I don't know what anyone can help us in this and things. So I am happy because I learned that from DFC. I was able to impact it to another company. So I love the experience at DFC because I learned, how would I say, so many different things from so many different people there.
Well done to the team that helped you along that journey. So after 7 years, what happened?
I think I just wanted to move on. It's not like nobody did anything to me or anything. I think earlier in the year when at that time the human resource manager was Gloria Joseph, I think she interviewed us once, like one-on-one, just to get to know us stuff better. And she was like, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Or where do you see it being? I look at her and honestly I didn't have no plans. Until I don't see myself in DFC past this September. Just like that? Just like that, I said to her.
You didn't know what you were going to do?
I don't see myself past DFC past September. And sometime after Jacinta came but I should say before that, I was asked more than once by Sammy later, hey, the cultural division have an opening. Why don't you apply for the job or something? I said, Sammy finished with blue and me. She's like, yeah, I never know. Sammy actually wrote the application. Then we signed it. I sent it. After that, they had 2 interviews they had their first interview for the job. For whatever reason, I don't know, they did not get who they were looking for. They didn't choose anybody. Or if they did choose somebody, I learned from my dear friend Simeon Joseph later that whatever, let's just leave it there.
Yes.
Anyway, they didn't take anybody to fill in the position at the time. They called a second interview. I went again and I felt this time I did bad. The first time I feel I did good. One of the interviewees, I felt intimidated by her.
One of the interviewers?
Interviewers, not
yes.
interviewees, sorry.
Okay.
One of the interviewers, I felt intimidated by her. So I believe I did not give a good account of myself.
That can have an impact.
So I felt I did bad. But when I walked back in the DFC office, because one thing Marilyn and them would always shield me, nobody knew I was going for the interview, so they were prepared, if they come and ask for me, he went to do an error, he went to things. So it's nice to step back and tell them, hey, I feel like you did badly at that interview, but let me tell you something. Carlton, just how I'm saying to you, I said, I will not be doing another interview for the cultural division position. And one way or the other, I must be employed at cultural division. I said that. We're going back now to 3 years later, just internet me, she was like, Carlton, what you doing? I rooting for you, I've sent up a write-up for you to come and meet me, you come and meet me in cultural division. I was like, you serious? Like, no, you have to come and meet me. I'm like, okay. Then you have to do that soon, and not too long after that, I met Mrs. Charles. She said, we're going to send you over to cultural. Are you serious? Like, yeah, you better start preparing yourself. You're going to go to cultural division. I'm like, okay. And very soon too, as in September, I had a few days, and then we were in August, so I had a few days vacation.
You take your vacation?
I take the vacation, checking boy, let me take my vacation, because we did speaking I'm supposed to start. So I said, when I take the vacation, it's time for me to start. I'll just start off, so by the time my real jobs come back, I'll just resign. Happen. So that is the vacation end the Friday. I'm supposed to go back to work the Monday. I get a call from Jacinta. You have to report to cultural division tomorrow. I was like, wait, how am I going to do that? So I said, okay. So I went to thing on Monday. I said, I can't come on Monday, let me just go and close up. So I went, write my resignation letter, which was already prepared about 3 months before.
Because you were leaving in September?
Because I already make up my mind, one way or the other, I'm not seeing myself past cultural division.
Past September?
DFC past September. So, going upstairs to going to buy and giving it to people, and some of them were like, but you're not even sure you're getting the job, you have no paper, why are you going to get the job? And I got discouraged. But I still went on until Mr. Piper, and I tried to get another job, and then I feel the opportunity coming through. However, if the opportunity is coming through, I may leave and things with me. Hope at least if what I'm going for there is better for me, it does me well and things. So I'm like, okay, cool. I go now. The next day I left. DFC got enough for me, serious. So I left and go cultural division for the whole day. I did not report to DFC. And Marilyn I agree. They have my back on that one. So if anybody come, I'm out for on an errand. Spend the entire day at cultural division just to get acquainted to the place. And the Wednesday I got confused. I went back to DFC. So just now, coming from upstairs, saying hi to them at DFC, she seen me like, what are you doing
what
there?
Are you doing there?
Carlton, I fight so hard to get to the little position, and Carlton, what if you didn't want it, you can tell me, at least I'll get somebody else. So when I see how she felt, so broken hearted, it was about 12 o'clock in the day. No, I tell her, wait for me. I go, I print out the resignation, and I went upstairs. Mr. Piper, here you are. I was like, okay. So I walked out at DFC 12 o'clock in the day, and I report to cultural division at 1
At 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Carlton, that's quite a story. And you've been at cultural division since
ever
then?
since.
And that's how many years now?
9.
9 years you're at Cultural Division.
Appointed cultural officer.
You're appointed.
Acting senior cultural officer.
Congratulations to you, Carlton. You see?
So you see, actually, I think my hat was where it's supposed to be in culture.
What do you do there?
Okay, I'm the officer responsible for traditional dances. If, like, for anybody in the area of traditional dance wants further training, or they want to go, how do I say, form a new group, or probably asking to probably just a little brush up, I'll be the person to go to. I'll be the officer responsible for traditional dance. So it doesn't matter, we have different officers working in different districts. However, based on the request certain groups and or certain schools or certain individuals may have, we may have to direct certain officers to handle certain situations. So if anybody wants anything to do with traditional dance, I'll be the go-to officer. Also, I am the officer responsible. We still have people working in districts. So for example, I am the officer responsible for the South and for the Southwest.
Okay.
I am the officer responsible for I'm actually the national coordinator for the Madam Walk Duet and Miss Walk Duet pageant at the home. And if anybody needs, like any assistance with pageantry and they check us at the home, I will be the person that they would tag along with the person.
Okay. You enjoy it, Carlton?
I do.
You enjoy going to work every day?
I do. Now I think I'm loving it more. At one point, I mean, it could be a bit more troubling and frustrating when you have so much to do, but I realize it's my life, so if you're doing something you love, I don't think you'll have any issue with it.
We've heard the comment that it's quite a young team now at the Cultural Division with a very young leader. Do you think this is good for culture?
I believe it is. I believe we will have continuation with the young people. I believe if we probably had a bit more guidance by some of the because the former officers who were there, even though they're no longer attached with us, but at least if we can get at least, hey, we used to do it like that. You don't need to do it like that, but if you do it so, it will be keeping up with the traditional form, the more raw art form instead of, we did not really get much of that. We get a bit, but not much of nurturing from the older ones. So we kind of navigating on our own and try to based on our basic knowledge that we must have what we have seen before, or the few persons that we may have spoken to based on what they tell us. We try to keep it as current, but still not forgetting the past or some of the traditions that are rich and that you cannot change. So we try. It's struggle, but we're keeping it going.
You all are bringing some nice little twists to some of the activities. The Golden Drum Awards, for example, is a nice production now. You've introduced this year, you introduced a little celebrity.
Yes.
I think these are really some nice touches that you all are bringing to culture and to the activities that really encourage others to want to be a part of.
Because something I'll tell you, Mr. Matthews, sometimes we have a little fight about it.
Of course.
How young people, how can we get them to love it? I said, sometimes I tell me, some of you, there are certain things we don't touch. Let's just leave it like that. But he wants to get the young people because so into it, so what we think. So sometimes we may have a little backlog.
And that's fine.
Leave it like that. If we don't want to, if they do not want to come, they don't need to come. Sorry to say it like that, but just what I'm trying to say. But he's trying to get as much involvement of the young people in the art form, the traditional as well as the contemporary. So
is it working?
I believe it is working to a certain extent. So Dominic is doing something, but probably if the internet do a little bit, something can probably help us. When you have nothing to do, you must come to the thing. Yeah, I think we tried our very best, and I think we're reaching a bridge where we're meeting the older ones and the younger ones, which is something I think that if we keep it, we will at least get continuation of our traditional culture.
And we've heard of you calling for the appointment of Mr. Matthew to the role. I suspect you have the same call as well?
I don't know. One thing I know is if you get appointed, you never know, probably I get appointed.
That's it. Into the senior's
position.
position.
But I must say, people say that out there, but I like to tweet our own horn. Sorry to say that. We are family down there at the cultural division. And trust me, further in something, when one person have a struggle, all of us have the struggle. And sometimes if Giselle is probably back at work doing something late, I might not be doing much. But I will try to stretch to stay as long with her. There was once we had a task where in the middle of the COVID, where we had to launch the independence in a kind of, extreme short time frame. Because of the whole COVID, we cannot get too many people at one place in one time. And we got like 2 days, I think, to do the opening of thing, and we had to take it up. We said, let's do something different. We're going to shoot the opening of Independence at Cabrits. So we got Mikel, we got a mixture of a Bel Air group, and we were going to do it that area. By the time we had to just wake up very early, go to Cabrits, film that thing on that Friday, I think, was it Friday or Thursday? Get it filmed. After the filming, go back down to Portsmouth, get somebody to do some prayer or something, then go back to the office to try to get that edited. Because we have to release it next morning. When we went back to the office, I couldn't do nothing much for Giselle. I can't edit. Mr. Matthew could. He has an eye for that, and also I think he did some bit of schooling for that. So he would be there with Giselle, like, let's put that, let's add that, and he and Giselle on the computer. I can't do much. I can do company. I left Old Mill at 12 o'clock in the night. I couldn't do nothing for them, but at least the support. I remember I told you we went up there very, very early in the morning. By next morning, when I came back to the office about 8 or 9, Giselle and Ilson there. Giselle, what time we went down? 5 o'clock in the morning. To be able to come back to release the film for 8 o'clock.
Wow.
So
that's
we have
commitment and dedication. Yes.
We have that closeness and that bond in the office. Some people see it differently. Some people say, cultural division staff always like as you define when we go somewhere, we're clogging up together, but that's our comfort zone. We feel comfortable around one another. We feel like as is a brother or a sister we have, so we always want to stay close and support one another in whatever we can.
What about the extracurricular activities you engage in your community? How much of that do you still do? How much of that have you done?
I'm still very much involved with it. That's something I'm amazed by myself and wonder how I get to do certain things. I'm still very much involved as a reader and recently a commentator.
In church, you mean?
In church. And still a choir member. So I still get very much involved during the Isidore celebration when to prepare the space for the event. I still, I'm very much involved in helping in the community, like the village council, in terms of planning of carnival and even the Isidore celebration. Actually, I'm the one that usually, along with teacher, they put together the cultural gala aspect of it for the Isidore celebration. If there are certain things that the council is doing that they would like me to help, I still, as much as I can, stretch myself. Very much involved in my community tribal group and any other thing that I'm called upon in my community.
You continue to do that.
Never.
Carlton Henry, I mean, we didn't take any break. Carlton, you realize we've just been talking. It's almost time for us to wrap up the program. I'm not sure if there's anything significant. Really, I left my glasses tonight, so you know my notes are just useless to me this evening. But we can take a couple of calls if anybody wants to call quickly. On the numbers, it's 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097. If you would like to reach us from overseas, it's 305-432-9624. And you know, it's really been an inspiring program here with Carlton this evening. A few takeaways for me. High school, he decided it wasn't for him, stopped going to school for some time, struggled a bit, but through help from the community, the mom of the late Edridges, he got a sitting down from the both of them, made his way back to school, and left with 5 GCE subjects. That is some level of inspiration here for me tonight. Good evening.
Good night to you.
Good night to you, my dear.
And good night to your guest, Carlton.
Good night.
Good night, sorry.
And good night to your listeners. I am so proud of this young man because I myself is a young person too. And when I heard him said that the oral that sometimes it is the cultural division, and he couldn't do certain things but just to give moral support to his colleague, I nod my head. And I'm saying I hope that the program reaches other people. That is what you call dedication, that is what you call love, that is what you call commitment. That is what, and he does it with pride. He does it with honor and dignity, and he do it in a dignified way. I want to tell you as a young person, take a bow. I'm so proud of you. Whether you know I'm the type of person, I believe in what I do. And anytime I see people put their all into what they do, you have to do it with a level of compassion. You have to do it with a level of love. You have to do it with pride. You have to take pride in whatever you do. Instead of just doing it like that for the money, there's no motivation, money, just come and you just go. But you have to love what you do. And anytime you love what you do, it will pay you. Hard will pay. I'm so proud of this young man, especially when he said he could not exist. But he stayed with them just to give moral support. This is a man that wants to see the cultural division move places, and he will move places too, because he has a bright future ahead. He is committed, he understands his role, he understands his job, he understands that is what that puts food on the table, that is what that pays the bill. Some of us we don't understand that, some of us we don't sit down and reflect. But I want to tell him I'm proud of him, I want to tell him go ahead and do bigger things in the future for you. Thank you and God bless. For all young people to showcase their talent. Too many times you feel that we need him. And when you pass on, he was a nice person, she was a nice person, hypocrite. I like to tell people how I feel of them and give people their flowers while they are alive. So I commend you, I commend the management and staff of Q95 for allowing young people and people around to express their views. You know, because every one of us have none of us have a monopoly idea, and every one of us have a contribution to make to the development of our country. Hats off and congratulations.
Thank you so much for that. We appreciate you and your contribution to the program tonight. We'll take, if there's anybody else who would like to call and contribute, 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, as we get ready to wrap things up here tonight on the In the Spotlight radio show with Carlton Henry. Carlton, while we were taking the call there, if there's anything we may have left out that you wish to share, now is the time as we're getting ready to wrap up.
There's nothing further I would really want to say, because if we have to keep on going with a lot of stuff. But I would just like to say, I would really like my story to just show people that, like I said in the beginning, never let where you came from determine where you're going. And that's actually my motto. That's why I always strive to be better. And I usually pray every night to ask for that. Ask for that I get better at whatever I do, and whatever I do, let it impact others, and let me have that positive impact on others, that they can have a positive impact on someone else.
Someone who interviewed you asked you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What's next for Carlton?
I will not live in culture for that's one for sure. Or if I do live cultural division, at least somewhere involved in culture as well. I find that's where I feel comfortable, that's my comfort zone. That's why I'm able to spread myself and share my knowledge, skills, and just be myself. Imagine, I love what I do. I love what I do. Actually, my hobby, my passion is what I do for money.
Do what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life.
So
yes, I think that's the same.
I think I'm getting paid for what I love.
Carlton, yeah. I really would like to say thank you to you for being a guest on the program tonight. And there's a few takeaways from me. You know, as I mentioned, earlier on, I think again, continue to have the passion and drive that you have as an individual. Continue to build on that love that you have for culture and your country. Continue being an inspiration to others. Continue teaching others. You know, some of us are very selfish. We do not like sharing our knowledge, our skills, our talent comes to us naturally. But we can share knowledge, we can share skills, and we can share learnings with others. So continue doing that, especially where preserving our culture is concerned. So we appreciate you and we thank you so sincerely. Just giving you an opportunity to say thank you to everyone, and
thanks to everyone who have supported me along my journey thus far in helping me to become who I am today. I even want to say thank you to my enemies or
your
my
naysayers. Your naysayers.
You have made me become a better person, because probably the comments or the comments or the statement that you made helped me probably look at myself and probably see if I should strengthen myself in that area, or probably if I should just say, let you be and just be who I want to be. So even the naysayers, the supporters, you all helped me become who I am. Thank you.
And with that, we wrap up the In the Spotlight radio show for tonight. The voice was a bit husky, didn't have any control over that. You know, when my voice is like that, you know, I don't think I'm always at my highest or at my best. But all the same, I hope we had a wonderful program tonight and that you enjoyed the program with Carlton Henry. It is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Our next week's guest will speak on that, a survivor. So make sure you tune in next week. Until then, thank you again and have a good night, everyone. Thank you for choosing the In the Spotlight radio show tonight. Thank you, Carlton. Thank you, viewers. By the way, Debbie Coffey said to say hi to you.
Oh,
she was
Debbie.
And everyone else who said hello and shared their love tonight. We'll be back next week, Monday, God willing. It is our independent season. Make the most of it. This Friday is Journée Chapeau Pie. Am I correct? Yes. And so get ready to wear your curl wear, complemented by your chapeau pie. That's a wrap, guys. Take care and always try your best to be the best that you can be.